Very happy to see everyone. It's an observation I made coming to Long Island. There are 2.8 million people here, but somehow Long Island is the world's biggest small town, and we're all here together tonight to see each other and be together, celebrate 50 years of the Press Club of Long Island, and look forward to a happy next 50 years, successful 50 years. It is my pleasure and sincerely an honor to set the stage for Karl Grossman and maybe give some of our younger folks a window into 1974. A 50th anniversary, if you notice the tote bags, is a golden anniversary. And while 1974 was a rugged year in American history, we were at war, we dealt with inflation, urban strife, on Long Island enduring segregation, a president encouraged to leave office by evidence of illegal activities, and the rise of disco music. But in many ways, it was a golden time for our profession. Popular culture indicates journalism was a popular theme of the era, and stories of reporters and aspiring journalists were widely represented in films, television, and just pretty much all media. Film director Ron Howard, as the character Richie Cunningham in Happy Days, was an aspiring journalist. Fans of the Waltons, John By Walton, also an aspiring journalist. The book, All the President's Men, by Woodward and Bernstein of the Washington Post, was published that year and became a feature film 2 years later. I don't know how many male reporters in the room would pass for Robert Redford, but that's how popular reporters were. And Richard Dreyfuss, Kurt of American Graffiti, had a wild night before heading off to journalism school. The film was an Academy Award winner in 1974. And actual real-life colleges and universities, more startling of all, I suppose, they were expanding or establishing journalism programs. Now, flash ahead 50 years, America confronts many of the same issues and problems. But today, news organizations are doing more with less. Colleges and universities find less interest for journalism programs. Who knows how AI will transform our profession? And misinformation by self-proclaimed journalists is rampant. And a former president insists that we are enemies of the people, though he may assume some of you here are good people. Not so funny. Many in this room have experienced threats and intimidation while reporting. Our profession faces challenges unimaginable in 1974, except perhaps by students of authoritarian movements of the early and mid-20th century. 50 years ago, Karl Grossman and his colleagues created an institution to pursue power in unity and progress through advocacy to assure our neighbors have reliable information for making informed, responsible decisions. In the ensuing years, this is where we talk about you, Karl. We're coming up to time. In the ensuing years, Karl has worked as a reporter, educator, filmmaker, and by the way, he's experienced also some threats from powerful interests, no pun intended, nuclear power interests, political organizations, and elements of organized crime. That might be redundant. And aside, Karl was at one time a television news director on Long Island at WSNL, the site of Long Island's first commercial broadcast television newscast. And coincidentally, that happened in 1974. Karl came aboard later, but watch for PCLI to commemorate WSNL. Stay tuned. And a moment for younger folks who are new to Long Island and why you should be listening to Karl, care, and enjoy and study his works. Maybe be disturbed by them, Karl. In his book, Power Crazy, Karl describes plans not so long ago to site on Long Island as many as 11 nuclear power plants. If you can imagine that, people had made those plans. Today, we, PCLI board members, older folks, editors, news directors, we must inspire future generations to retain idealism in the face of obstacles. A free press is golden, and is essential to a functioning democracy then, now, and of course, 50 years from now. Karl's reporting today is available in publications throughout Long Island. He continues his work as an educator, teaching and mentoring students at the State University of New York at Old Westbury. And later this month, see, research brought me this one. Talking to the source is important. Later this month, Karl will be honored by his alma mater, Antioch College in Ohio, with their Horace Mann Award. Mann was an abolitionist of the 19th century, an education reformer, and known as the father of American education. Congratulations, Karl. The award, by the way. Now, here's why this matters to folks who know Karl. The award is presented to an alumnus who has won some victory for humanity, whose professional activities have had a profound effect on the present or future human condition. Wow, right? What a legacy. There is no one more appropriate to help us look forward to the next 50 years of our profession in service to Long Island than PCLI founder, one of PCLI's founders, Karl Grossman. Please welcome Karl Grossman.